Hey, there's Tim. How you doing? Can I get any guesses on what I'm looking at right here? This is probably over my head. Got a couple of you on here watching. Um, we got a little bit of wind noise. I hope that doesn't affect you too much. Nasty stuff. Yes. What? This is a. Can anybody guess what this is? I wanna see if anybody can guess what this is we're looking at right here. I'll show you the backside here. Surely somebody can figure out what we got going on. Power steering pump? No, it's not a pump. This is a. Come on, somebody should be able to guess this. I think somebody can do it. I'll show you the backside of it. This is what it looks like from the backside right here. Any guesses? What we got here? We got a drive. There we go. Now we're getting close. A drive motor. Gears to Grand FT. I'm not sure what that means. And I might have missed some comments here. I'm trying to keep up. 42 Fab, good to see you. Hydraulic drive pump. This is actually the drive motor. And this is off of a machine that's sitting over here in my shop right now. I'll give you a little closer look what we got going on. We'll be here when you get back, MSL. I'm gonna be on here for a short amount of time, not very long. 763 Bobcat. It's pretty nasty inside here, but I've got all these lines off of eBay, which has been really nice for this deal because I can actually plug off all these pipes. But I need to clean this out before I put it all back together. But I am playing with a skid loader tonight. This is actually a farmer. He brought this over to me and he said I need to try to fix it. I don't know a whole lot about these machines, but what I did find out is when I pulled off the case drain on this machine, it would just spew oil through the case drain like a water hose. I mean, just constant. Even without a load, I would get a lot of flow through the case drain. So actually, I did not buy a Mini X and a skid steer. Tell Debbie I said hi, Frank. I'm glad you guys are on here. Excavating 320. I'm glad you're here. But anyway, this is a project that we sent this to Bobcat. Bobcat took it in. They checked it. They said the flow rates were low on the pump. I talked to another guy that knows a little bit more about them than I do, and he said pull the case drain line off and check the flow when you're, just pull that case drain line off and see how much flow you get through that pump, or the motor, actually. So that's what I did. We got a leak on here. But anyway, I think what I'm coming up with is, well, I got to get some tools. I'm not prepared here. Let me get a tool here to pick that seal out. But I think I'm going to try to put a seal kit in this motor, and we're going to see what happens. Because if you look at this seal, this is one of the main seals in the pump. Right now it's oily. I keep it in this bucket to keep it clean. I mean, these are really sensitive to dirt, so you don't want to get these dirty any more than you have to. But what I'm getting at is this seal here is pretty shiny, And hey, good luck with your open house, 42 Fab. Definitely would like to be there. Hang on a sec. I'm probably fixing to lose my phone battery. This live stream might be really short. A break from working on my own stuff. Yes, Frank, I did get a break from working on my own stuff. I'm working on something for somebody else. It actually pays the bills sometimes. That's not all that bad, is it? Might not pay enough, but what I'm looking, yeah, I am very unprepared, man, and I'm sorry. But what I'm looking at, you've got this seal here. This little seal right here, if it fails or if it leaks, you're going to get bypassed through between this port and this port, which is, basically you got forward, you got reverse. I may have that backwards, but one of the two. If this leaks, you're going to have problems. You're going to have leakage, and leakage is going to come out through, your case drain. This is the case drain line. Like I say, I got some neat little caps to plug all this stuff off, but it's a gear over. Is what this is called. It's a pretty complicated little piece of machinery. When you pull these apart, you got to be careful not to lose any of the parts, like I just did there, right there. You be sure and keep all your rollers in the same location. You don't want to get them mixed up, but that's what it looks like. But if you look here, we have a seal here. Let me dig it out of this bucket. This is what this seal looks like that goes in here. It has an O-ring goes in the bottom, and it's like a backup ring, I guess what you call it. But it's a little bit metallic, so I'm thinking we're getting leakage through here. I think we're getting leakage through here. This seal here is not really corroded or eroded. But it's shiny. And when you see an O-ring that's really shiny, that shows me that it's probably leaking. So it's one of them deals that I think it's worth trying to put a seal kit in this. I think it's about $70, maybe $80. But whenever I would pull the case drain line off of this machine and move it forward and reverse, I could fill up a 2-gallon bucket really quick. So I'm kind of thinking we're probably getting some, I think we're getting leakage through here. I think we're getting probably a little bit of leakage through your rollers, but not much. I mean, these things look pretty good. There's wear on them, but everything fits together pretty good. So I don't think we've really got a problem with that. I think it's just a matter of, if we can renew these seals. There's an O-ring here, an O-ring in this part here. There's this seal and a backup. There's an O-ring and a backup seal here. But whenever you forward and reverse these machines, and you've got there's another seal somewhere. No, like I said, I got all this in the bucket. Where is it at? I'm probably going to lose some parts. I hope not. That would be bad. Anyway, I'm going to try to put a seal kit in it. We're going to try to make it work. We're going to see what happens. Worst case scenario, this doesn't work. But the dealership wanted to sell us a new pump. And they wanted us, I think they wanted to spend about six grand on this machine, which is probably not worth 8 grand. That's not really a good option. Shiny O-ring means oil going. I'm gonna try to catch up on some stuff here. We got the big coochie. We got spent a day rebuilding my catfish noodle. It was my fault. But anyway, I think we got leakage going past the O-rings. But like I say, you know, we've got a lot of leakage underneath this thing too. So we've got some stuff leaking under here. We need to try to find the leaks, clean it all out. Hopefully we'll get it. What I'm thinking is we'll do one side at a time. I'll put a seal kit in this side and fire the machine up, see what we got. Hey Steve, good to hear from you. Alan Pierce from Southern Illinois. Most of my backhoe parts I do get from Central New Holland. Yes, sir. MLW. That's where I get it. Diamond Rio says it's worth shot for $70. I believe it is. Like I say, I'm not seeing a lot of problem with this. Well, they're all trying to jump out now. Everything looks pretty clean inside this machine, but it has 500 hours on it. It's probably like a 90. I think it's a mid-90s model machine. So when you get to that point, your seals start to go. And if you got a seal like this, that can cause leakage, which, you know, when I put a straight edge across these, everything looks pretty flat. I'm not seeing a whole lot of wear. So it's just one of them deals. I'm gonna put a seal kit in this pump, or this motor, not the pump, the motor. And we're gonna see what's going on. Wow, we even got Miss Elite Earthworks on here. What an honor. Joe Hussey, thanks. Happy New Year to you. Burning Dinosaurs, working on a 763 Bobcat skid steer. And it is a drive motor. But like I say, we're going to probably put one together. We'll see how it goes. It's not that big a job to pull these off of these Bobcats. I mean, you pull 2 tires off, you pull the hydraulic lines loose, and I think, you know, if you look at a machine and you look at any amount of age, you're going to see seals deteriorate. And not from hours, but from age. And I don't know if I'm wrong on that, but just looking at my machine, my backhoe, I'm looking at almost every cylinder seal kit needs replaced at this point. And it's not because it's too many hours, it's the age. I'm gonna try to catch up here a little bit. We got a few people watching, about 34. That's not too bad. But got the little skid steer in here, got it jacked up. Whenever I go to test run it works okay, but it seems like one side works better than the other. And I think that has to do with maybe the seals in one side are a little bit weaker than the seals in the other side. Soldier Dirt made it over here. I'm hoping I'm not wrong, Tim. I mean, I could be. We could be looking at it needs new motors. Here's the deal, though. Whenever Bobcat checked this machine out, they said that it needed a new main pump. Okay? A new main pump is, they wanted to spend $6 grand to put a new main pump in this Bobcat, and this Bobcat's probably worth $8,000. I talked to another guy that does work on these machines, and he gave me some advice, and he said, you know what, pull the case drain lines off, run it forward and reverse, and see how much oil you're getting through your case drain, which made sense to me. So that's where we're at. And I don't know, you know, this is if you guys got any experience with this stuff, I would I would welcome any advice you've got, because I'm not a Bobcat mechanic. Whenever I started working on this thing, I told the guy, I said, I don't know that much about them. They are, well, they're not a coochie. I don't know if I can talk the guy that owns it into trading it for a coochie. He probably needs a coochie. I'm sure he does. But he owns a Bobcat, so that's where we're at on that deal. But the main pump is back here. Bobcat wanted $6,000 to replace that main pump. But here's the problem. If your seals are bad in your motors, it doesn't matter how much that pump can pump. If these seals are bad, you're going to lose all that oil. So that's kind of where we're at on it. We're going to see if I'm kind of going off of a hunch, and I'm going off of a little bit of common sense. We're going to see if we're right. If we're wrong, we're going to let you know we're wrong. But this is the line that comes off of the case drain on the right-hand motor. There's another one down here. It goes back into the pump there itself. But I pulled the lines off of each one, and I'm getting a lot of flow whenever I go forward and reverse. So I think that's, I think we're going about it in a reasonable way. If you start changing pumps, that's a lot of money. You start changing seals, that's a little bit cheaper. So, Chris Wright, how much should the case drain pressure be? Do you know? Because the book does not tell me. A new pump would blow up the new seals or the worn seals even faster. I agree with that. I think that's exactly right. Seals in the pump. Well, we might need seals in the pump. Jason, I don't know. I'm sorry you missed the beginning of this, but what we're having is we're having a low pressure issue on the charge pump, and the Bobcat dealership says we need a new main pump. Another guy I talked to that knows a lot about these says before you do that, you pull the case drain line, you see how much leakage you got through the motor, and that's where we're at. We've pulled the motors off. So the case drain, whenever I pulled it off, I wish I had videoed it, but I had a hose off of there, and whenever I would run one of these sticks forward and reverse, I mean, it would fill a bucket up with oil in a matter of seconds. So I think we're getting too much flow through the seals and the motor. I think that's what's going on. Case drain pressure should be low to zero. I agree with that. Charge pressure, what we're getting is we're getting a indicator light in the dash that says we got low charge pressure. When I put a gauge on the charge pressure, it seems like it's okay. But like I say, I'm not a Bobcat mechanic. I know a little bit about diesel mechanics. I know a little bit about hydraulics. This system here is actually not that complicated, but it's one I've never worked on, so it's something that I've got to learn a little bit about. The Takeuchi does not even need pumps to work. Is that right? Wow, how about that? I'm catching up on comments here. Measure flow off your case drain versus any kind of pressure. Case drains should never have that much pressure on them, and unless I'm mistaken, they should always just be a relief to keep you from blowing your seal out and blowing oil into the chain box, which we are not getting. I have a flow meter that is a good friend of mine has a flow meter that, and we're going to try to get a hold of it. Two pumps have to be calibrated together. I'm trying to catch up on your comments here. A pressure gauge is one thing, but a flow meter is a completely different thing. A flow meter will actually measure flow at a given pressure and a given temperature, and I do not own a flow meter. But if you look in the book, I do not see a spec. I've got a Bobcat manual. I do not see a spec on how much flow I should be seeing from the case drain. The only thing I can find is if I go to YouTube and I look up some of the guys on there that, well, you look at some of the guys on there that rebuild these pumps, and they'll tell you if you're getting flow through your case drain, which is more than just a trickle, you've probably got a problem with your drive motor. But here's the deal, if your drive motor seals are bad, you're going to lose all of your charge pressure out of your system. And that's just common sense, in my opinion. Actually, I think it is, Tim. When I drove it, it seemed like you had to kind of slack off of the left-hand stick to make it run the same speed. So yes, I think you are correct. Case drain is going to be excess, will vary a lot, so no spec will be provided. However, well, I'm just telling you, whenever I had this thing running earlier today and the case drain into a bucket, I could pump 2 gallons within 30 seconds. So that's not minimal. It is a Eaton hydraulic pump. What? I guess I missed something in the stream. Pump is an Eaton pump. 7907 is the number on it. I don't know if that helps anybody. Anyway, hey, it's where it is right now, and it's going to get a new seal kit. What I plan to do with it is put the seal kit in it, put it back on the machine, and warm it up, let it run a little bit, and then we'll do another flow on the case drain, and we'll see if we helped it. If we did help it, then it needs seals. But here's the deal. You've got this seal right here was very shiny, which it tells me that it's been leaking. This seal here, this is one of the main seals in between the forward and reverse. So the way I understand it, forward or reverse, you get pressure through one side, you get pressure through the other in the other direction. And then on the other side, you've got this seal that goes in here. And basically, this is an O-ring with a backup ring, or I guess that's a backup ring. But see how it has a metallic tint to it? What that's coming off of is a plate right here. This goes against here. But I don't know that it matters how many hours you have on a machine. I think it matters how many years when you come into this kind of stuff like this. If you have too many years on these seals, I think they're going to go bad. So that's kind of where we started out on it. Old hoses could be breaking down, causing flow issues. Can you find a restriction with temp sensor gun? I have not tried that. Howdy, SP Alexander. How are lines to and from the motor? Are they crushed anywhere? I don't believe they're crushed anywhere. A couple of them are new. Not sure I'm catching all the comments here. We got a few people watching. Kind of hard to believe. It is Monday night. Howdy. Glad you could join me. It's a pretty boring little video here, or little live stream, whatever you want to call it. But like I say, I'm getting into something I've never gotten into much. It is Sunday here too. But anyway, this is a very simple motor as far as the way it's built. And like I say, it's not loose. I don't see a lot of wear on the rollers. The rollers are pretty smooth. The rotor and the housing is very smooth. So the only reason I can see that we're getting a lot of bypass would be bad seals. So that's kind of where we're at right now. But I can't do anything until I get seals. And once I get those, we'll put them in there and we'll see what happens. So let's see, we've got, okay, Brian says wouldn't there be debris in the tank? Yes, I agree with that. And I have pulled the filters off of it, and there's very little debris in this machine. I think it has 3,400 hours on it. It's going to have some debris in it, I think. I think that's a given on an older machine. I do not know for sure where I'm going to get the seal kit from. Do you anybody have a good suggestion on where I get them? I suspect Bobcat's going to be expensive. But if they're worth it, they're worth it. I know sometimes on the New Holland stuff, I'm better off to go to New Holland. So any suggestions you got, I'm good. I mean, I'd like to hear from you. Other issues causing a rise in temp. Fluid is shared throughout the whole machine. Jason, the thing I worry about, you talk about worn valve bodies, but whenever you come to the case drain on the motor itself, I would think that if you pull that line off and you actually measure the flow, or you see how much is flowing out of it, to me it makes sense that you're going to have, if you have a lot of flow through the case drain, your motor is either going bad or you need new seals. And in my opinion, a seal kit's pretty cheap to start with. Bobcat's hit or miss on parts and prices. Let's see. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying, Jason. I'm sorry. You're talking about tip gun versus flow meter for that test. I'm kind of trying to catch up on your comments here. Hope you guys are having a great new year. I tell you what, here has been really slow. It's been snowing, it's been raining, it's been nothing but, there's just not been any work to do. So The shop's fairly clean because I've had time to clean it. I've got a heater. We did set the heater up here. And right now, the outside temperature is about 60 degrees. The indoor temperature is about 60 degrees, so the heater doesn't need to run. Wrenching, okay. Yes, sir. I thought I was going to get shed of this project. I didn't know that I was going to be caught up in this as deep as I am. This machine was at my house about 3 weeks ago, and I told the guy, I said, I don't have any way to check your flow rates. I don't have any way to check this out. I said the best thing I can see is maybe send it to Bobcat, see what they say. But after he sent it to Bobcat and they said, hey, you need a new motor, or wait, you need a new pump. The rain's been awful. I'm hoping I can go to work tomorrow, Albert. But yes, this is a waste oil burner. This is a clean burn. It's a 140,000 BTU unit. Got a 200-gallon tank. Lucky for me, this came full of oil, so I've got plenty here to burn. But I've got my own stash, so I'm gonna be good to go on the heat. I wish I could come to Joplin. I'm gonna be going on vacation Wednesday though, so sorry. I'm supposed to go to Enid tomorrow morning. I hope that happens. I don't know for sure if it will. Last I heard, we're going to go up and do a grease trap. I've got a plumber I work for that does. We did a job up there for a gas station, and they need a grease trap and that kind of stuff put in. So it's going to be hopefully a good couple days of work, maybe a day and a half. The way this Bobcat could heat my shop for the rest of this winter, you are correct. I believe that. I think it's probably best I went through the wall. Yes, the snow did melt. My snowmen are both gone. We had 2 snowmen out here and they're gone. So I think we hit, I don't know, close to 60 degrees today. Yesterday was really nice. Oklahoma weather is not good for snowmen. But anyway, just wanted to do a little stream this week. I've been wanting to do one. It's always windy in Oklahoma. Seems like my doors rattle. Sorry about that. Hope that doesn't affect your sound too much. It's getting worse. The heater works great. There was one day out here, it was, I think there was one morning out here, it was 25 degrees, and I walked in the barn out here, and this barn has no insulation. I mean, it has none. And it was 55 degrees inside here, and it was nice. So, not a bad thing. I like the heater. The heater's a good investment. The thing is with the waste oil is you used to be able to have guys come by and buy it from you, and they might not pay you much, but they would haul it off. But the way things are going now, I called down in Oklahoma City, and they said, I asked them, I said, how much would it cost to bring a couple 100 gallons of used motor oil in? And they said it was going to be a couple $100. And I was like, good gosh, this is not going to work. So the drum doors have never came off track, and we have had some big wind out here. I have seen them bow in. There's a couple of days I thought they were coming off the tracks because we get some whenever Oklahoma gets wind, we get wind. And I mean, I've seen those things bow in 4 or 5 inches. And they're 12 foot wide by 12 foot high. This end down here, I have put brushes on it, on the outside of it. And the brushes are nice because they keep it from rattling. That's my north end. And the brushes keep it from rattling. They keep it from leaking so much air. I've got a brush across the top of it, and I've got brushes down each side. But I have not done anything on my little crane. Nothing else going on there. I'm gonna try to catch up. Dave and Den, the Bobcat has, we think, where I'm at on this Bobcat is it needs new seals in the motors on the drive. And that's what I'm gonna start with. If that doesn't fix it, then we're gonna go on with something different. But back to the important stuff. Somebody asked about insulated doors are expensive. But Eric brought me something. I don't know. I probably shouldn't even bring this up or bring it out. But back when I was building this stuff, this is one of Eric's remote control trucks from back when he was probably, I don't know, 10 or 12. But I decided it would be kind of cool to build Eric a winch truck. I don't know what you'd call this. It goes in the back of his remote control truck. Eric brought this down here yesterday, and he said, this is pretty cool. He said, you need to put this on YouTube. I haven't been able to get it working. I think there's some wiring problems or something like that, but this is just more of the stuff. I'd forgot I even built this. I mean, I built this back when I was 20 years. I was probably 22 years old, and I don't even remember building it, but I actually built it has a winch motor. There's a little winch line down in here, has a cable. It also has a cylinder that I used. There's 2 motors on this little outfit here, and one of them runs the winch up and down, one runs the boom up and down. And Eric pretty much wore the springs out on that thing after he got a hold of it. But anyway, the crane's still sitting over here. It's not doing nothing. I haven't got anywhere with it. Trying to make progress on some paying jobs. That's kind of where I'm at. So, and I've probably missed a lot of comments here. Spray foaming is what I would like to do in this barn. That's really what I would like to do. We got, I'm trying to back up here, look at some comments. Kind of got sidetracked a little bit. A logger wage sticker will make it work. I don't know about that. Somebody send me a logger wage sticker, we'll test it. I ain't got enough money to send him any money, so. But anyway, back when I was younger and had a lot of time on my hands, I liked to build cool stuff like that, but I don't do that much anymore. It seems like anymore, I spend most of my time trying to keep my machinery running, and that can be a full-time job. Wayne P says his stream keeps stalling. Everybody's online in Los Angeles. Well, it's good to see somebody's out there. What the heck that was? I hope Jason sends me some stickers with Jason Works. I think the Jason Works a Lot stickers would probably work better. You guys want to talk about new machinery? Let me give you my thoughts on new backhoes. Okay, KO asked if I'm gonna buy a new backhoe. I probably will hurt some people's feelings. I'm probably gonna make some people upset, but if I buy another machine, it will not be brand new. The 3D printer will be pretty cool. Surely KO doesn't hate Russians, right? But here's the deal. I have a backhoe out here that was built in 2008. And in 2008, they were still improving the hydraulics. It's actually 2007. 2007, they were actually still improving the hydraulics. If you go from a 1997 model to a 2007, there was big improvements on loader backhoes. If you don't believe me, go run one. There's a big difference between 97 and 2007. But from 2007 to 2018, the only difference we have seen on machinery is the engine emissions. Nobody is improving the hydraulics anymore. Nobody has looked at operator comfort. Nobody's looked at, we're going to make the cabs better. Nobody says we're going to make the seats better. Every engineer that works for John Deere, Case, Caterpillar, New Holland, anybody else, all they're worried about is we have to meet the government's requirements on emissions. So if I buy another machine, it will be a 2007 New Holland, and it will be a low-hour machine. It will probably need new hoses. It will probably need some new cylinder seals. But it will be a machine that I can take to a job and not worry about downtime. The machine I'm running now with 9,400 hours on it does not give me a lot of downtime. The emissions can be bypassed, I'm sure, but you're still dealing with electronic injection. And in my opinion, you're still dealing with something that is not as reliable as the old stuff. 9,400 hours, the only thing I have put on the engine on my backhoe is a water pump and a lift pump for the injection. So you cannot look at the new stuff. I can't make a living with it. Anything, well, I agree with you on the 2007 or newer. It just doesn't make sense. I mean, we had diesel engines were at the peak of efficiency in 2007 on construction equipment. I think we're getting rain. You guys might not be able to hear me here in a minute. We're getting a little bit of rain. So, to answer your question, a new machine, it will not be. It will be an old machine. I'm sorry to disappoint you. Duck and cover. We're not there yet. Come on now. Hey, are we back? Sorry about that, guys. My battery died. Anybody still there? Can you hear me? I've got to get a better phone connection or a phone battery, I guess. My old iPhone 6 is about to crap out on me. Anyway. Hey, we got somebody. All right. Are we back there? I think we're back. All right, guys, I'm back for now. This phone doesn't want to cooperate with me. Appreciate you guys hanging in there. Still got a few people watching. Someone digging in the dark ripped the wire out. I like that. That's pretty funny. Well, I agree with Old Farmer. You don't have to worry about DOT on the tractors and stuff, but there are some jobs that you actually have to worry about that stuff on. I've been on a couple of them, and there was a job I was on. They made me put I actually had to put catalytic converter on the end of my backhoe. That was on the one I had before. Tim's back. Thank you. Sorry about that, guys. Just like I say, this is the main attraction right here. This 763 Bobcat, not me. American flag. Hey, there you go. Elite could be out here beating on the side of my building. That's true. I'm sorry about the sound. It's not that great. Hopefully he's not trying to tear the eave off my building. I don't think his Mini X would reach 14 feet high. Well, it probably could. Never mind. Sorry. Well, Tim says they were going to go on without me. You guys, thank you. I'll tell you what, this channel, the thing I like about it is my subscribers. You guys are cool. I haven't seen a lot of fighting. I haven't seen a lot of people that complain about what I put up, what I post. I've seen some good discussions go on my channels in the comment sections, and I haven't seen a whole lot of angry people. So thank you guys. Scrubbers inside of buildings, that's kind of what we were dealing with. We were working inside a building. They wanted to put I think they did call it a scrubber, but it was actually just a catalytic converter I stuck on the end of the muffler, and we ended up digging. Thank you guys. I appreciate I appreciate your feedback on the videos. If you like them, thank you for letting me know you like them. Some people don't. Burning dinosaurs, take care of your wife. That's the most important part of your life. You guys, I tell you what, there's been times I wanted to just turn this channel off, and it's because I look at it and I think there's so much pressure, there's so many things people expect me to do, and there's so many things that you get into this and you don't realize what you're getting into. And there's been a couple times I've been tempted just to shut it all down, but you guys, you make it fun, you make it interesting. I appreciate that. And you guys, you make my day with your comments. You make my day with just letting me know that you like what we're seeing. And I'm not doing this just for likes and stuff, but you guys make my day. I guarantee you. Thank you. The angry people are always going to be on your channels. I don't care. I mean, I've had them from the get-go. I've had a few of them that, you know, they're there. They're going to be there. I feel a little bit sorry for them, but at this point right now, I'm not going to shut the channel down, but I will tell you this, don't expect a video next week. I'm going on vacation. So you got to hit the block button twice a day. You're doing something right. I have not blocked anybody yet. It could happen. I hope it doesn't have to happen, but it could happen. I've seen some guys that need to be blocked on YouTube. They are just buttholes. Eric, EL Construction. This is Eric's channel here, you guys, and he's coming up with some some footage, a video. He's got some stuff going on. Would you rather see my face or the floor? Because my face is pretty ugly. Okay, we'll just look at the floor. We'll look at the bobcat or the flag. How about that? I need matadors. I'm sorry I'm on my phone. I can't make matadors. Angry people come with rock music anytime, any type of mistake or if Russian trend of. Shoot. All right. I'm gonna leave that to Brandon and okay, the flag. There we go. There's the flag. That's the best part of this country. I mean, I look at my life and I think sometimes things are tough, things can be hard, but I did wake up in the greatest country in the world. All right. Every morning. I got that to be thankful for. There's a lot of veterans that have fought and died and, you know, sacrificed for me. And you cannot put a price on that. That's a gift right there. I'm not trying to get sentimental or nothing, but I appreciate the people that actually serve our country. I couldn't do it. What's wrong with the skitty in the corner? All right, maybe you missed the first part of the video. We were talking about we're having a lot of bypass through the case drain on the motors on the drive, and that's kind of where we're at. I pulled the drive motor off of this side. It's on the bench over here, and it's gonna get new seals. We're gonna see if it makes it better. That's where we're at right now. You know, you talk about taking pride in your work. That is the way I was raised. I was raised on a farm. I did, you know, my dad still has a farm. He still farms. But a day of work is a gift from God, in my opinion. I think a lot of people look at a day of work as drudgery, and I'm sorry for them because they're missing out on the best part of life. If you have a purpose, if you have something you can go do, it's a gift. I guarantee you, it's a gift. And you might as well do it as, you know, the feed's getting kind of fuzzy. Well, I'm in Oklahoma. When I was 9 years old, I was sitting in a tractor seat every summer and couldn't be prouder to be there. Salt of the earth. There you go. My dad's one of those guys. I don't know that I would qualify, but I can tell you what, every morning when I walk out and I fire up old Red, and I'm heading to a job to make some money, it's pretty cool. I get more excited about that than vacations, but don't tell my wife, please. No vodkas. I'm sorry. I love my country, though. I am going to Cozumel with my wife. The kids are staying home, but we're celebrating 27 years of marriage, believe it or not. Roxy is one of the best parts of this deal. And that's actually not my dog, that's my daughter Sarah's dog. I can't claim her, but I do like to think that she loves me somehow. But Wednesday morning, I am going to be on an airplane headed south. That's the plan. Thank you. Thanks for the congratulations. I actually have 35 people watching this. I don't know why. It's pretty, I don't know. Thank you guys for tuning in. Bobcat, American flag, there you go. Thank you for the happy anniversary. I've got a good wife. She's kept me in business for a lot of years. I guarantee you, we went to Cozumel. The first vacation I've ever taken out of the country was Cozumel 2 years ago, and I didn't think I would like it until I got there, and I loved it. It's the best vacation I've ever had. EL Construction, the table you made is the only reason you made it 27. Okay. Eric tells me, that's EL Construction, by the way. Eric tells me that since I make stuff like that, I must be in trouble. But I told him that he's looking at it the wrong way. I'm pretty lucky to have her. So when I build her something, you know, she's worth it. Canada would be, I'd like to visit Canada, but probably not in the winter time. I'm sorry, I'm not a cold weather person. Thank you, Mrs. Elite, for the happy anniversary. Thank you, Brian, for saying I'm a good guy. Hey, everybody can have an opinion. Not sure how good of a guy I am. I am a guy, so there you go. Well, that's pretty cool, Frank. I'm glad you're building her a blast cabinet. What is she going to blast in it? It would be my question. Is she going to fix cranes and crane parts? I mean, I would love to come to Canada in the summer. That looks like a really neat place. I've got an aunt that lives in Rothbury, Michigan, and she tells me how beautiful it is in the summertime, but all winter they can't go out of the house because there's too much snow. So a blast cabinet's something I'd like to have. Do you have a video on how you're building that, Frank? I hope you do. I'd like to see it. I'm built with love. I've built a few things for my wife. I've probably not built her near enough. She's a good gal. Mighty Mo, we had probably 4 inches of snow here yesterday morning, and it is gone today. Even my snowman is gone. Every bit of him is gone. Where is Debbie tonight? Is she watching or not watching? Is she watching with you? The reason I did the drone flight was Cambridge, Ontario. The reason I did the drone flight is the last few years we haven't had any snow at all. So it's been, it was kind of cool. How long have I been digging holes? I have been, um, the first actual commercial job I went on, I was 20 years old, and I am 47 years old today. So I guess that's about 27 years. I have dug holes before, on the farm, that kind of stuff, but the first commercial job I actually went and dug a footing on, I was 20 years old. And that was the same year I got married. I was 20 years old when I got married. So, happy birthday, Frank. My birthday was actually October 24th, but thank you. I am getting older. I'm not getting any younger. By the way, Eric has a video that should be coming out soon. Come on, Eric. Let me know when it's going to be ready. We got to get Eric's video out. Eric's starting a channel. It's EL Construction or L Construction. I don't know what it is. It ought to be a lot of fun. Thank you, Tim. Interesting build on the blast cabinet. I would sure like to see that. That sounds pretty interesting. Eric says his channel is like a cross between Chucky 2009 and Stephen Cox. Okay. This should be good. I can't wait. I can't wait to see it. Mighty Mo. What's he got there? Dave and Dan subscribe. You should use a GoPro, Frank. Eric is pretty damn funny, Steve. He is a cut up. I enjoy having Eric around here. He makes the day go by a lot faster. I will say that. The GoPro, I do have a GoPro 7. I did not bring it out here tonight. I'm sorry I didn't. I'm using my damned old lame iPhone, and that's where we're at tonight. Look up EL Construction. He's going to have a new video coming out pretty soon. 47 is still a young man. Wait till you pass 60. Things start to fall apart. Things started falling apart a couple years ago. Am I a Libra? I think I'm a Scorpio, actually, Tim. I don't know what the hell that means, but I think I'm a Scorpio, Scorpion, whatever. Looks like Eric might be building a couple of subscribers up here. That's pretty cool. Eric is one of them guys that if you were with him every day, you would not regret it. He's a fun guy to be around. He has a construction business. He builds metal buildings. He builds concrete houses. He is not afraid to take on just about any job that I would probably look at and say, hell no. So he has a lot of guts. So, and yes, I do not work for Eric. If I did, I would probably not be so nice. But anyway, Eric's a good guy. He's a hardworking man, and I got a lot of respect for him. He is my nephew, but I have a lot of respect for him. Pretty good dude. Eric would probably come and build. He's going to shoot. Where is it you're going, Eric? You're going over to BFE to build a building for somebody, right? I don't know if Pennsylvania would be that hard for Eric. He'd probably do it. Anybody with the SA200 can't be that bad. You are correct. Eric has a good welder. I really like that. SP Alexander lives in BFE. That might be where he's headed. Hey, while we're on the subject, I gotta tell you, Burning Dinosaurs is a guy you should check out. Okay? Burning Dinosaurs. He's a good guy. He's got some good videos. He has shouted out my channel on a Love for 4 or something like that, but I can't just pick 4 channels, but I guarantee you, if you check out Burning Dinosaurs channel, you're gonna like it, all right? Carlsbad, New Mexico. There you go. That's where he's headed. West Texas. There you go. He can do that. Eric can come out to West Texas and build you a building. Check out a few guys I want to shout out for you. Elite Earthworks LLC, Jason Works a Lot, EL Construction, TDEJ80. I hear he's going to be the next big deal on the welding. I'm not sure when, but we're still waiting. All right. Check these guys out. They're not big channels yet. I mean, they're getting pretty big, but they're doing some neat stuff. They're doing some cool stuff. YouTube is changing. It's not the same as it used to be. This used to be a deal where somebody had a channel, they got super famous, and then that was all it was. But you got guys like Jason and Brandon, and I can't help but say I think they're on the right track. They're doing the right thing, and they're building a community that's different than what it used to be. So check them out. I think it's worth it. I probably miss some stuff here, but did I say your name was Jason? I'm sorry, Mr. Elite. Your name's Brandon. Brandon with Elite Earthworks. I'm sorry. Jason is Jason Works a Lot. Mrs. Elite has a channel, but she has no videos yet. I don't know why. We're still waiting for that. Anyway, Saturday night live streams with Jason and Brandon are pretty cool. I have enjoyed a lot of time on there with them. Anyway. Jason, Bill, Harry, whatever. Yeah, we'll get it right. The streams are pretty funny. I hope nobody takes you serious on Chucky and Stephen Cox deal too. I actually think people should take Eric serious on Stephen Cox and Chucky 2009, because Eric is a really good, how should I say it? Eric's pretty comical. Probably more funny than both of those guys put together, even though they're not trying to be funny. Thank you, Buggy Man. This is a live stream I'm connected to my cell phone charger. So all you can see is a Bobcat and American flag, and that gum, 1500 replacing Lincoln that got stolen. Well, guys, I'm gonna have to shut it down for the evening. I appreciate you checking in with me. I appreciate you watching. Appreciate you commenting, subscribing, putting up with just cell phone batteries dead and all that crap. MSL's back just in time for me to shut down. I am sorry. Video's getting sharper now. I'm sorry if the video's been fading in and out. I'm in my shop. It's a metal building. It probably doesn't work that good. Good night, Brian. Guys, I'm gonna shut it down for this evening. Thank you. I don't know if this is entertainment. It damn sure ain't education. But I appreciate you guys checking me out. I appreciate you guys watching this stuff. Thank you. Thanks, Frank. We will see if this Bobcat lives. As soon as I can get a seal kit ordered, we'll get it back together. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Hey, the Jake brakes on Little Red, I cannot wait to hear what that sounds like. See ya, Piet. Mondrin student, whatever that is there. That's a hard one to say. Thank you for watching, guys. Signing off. I'll talk to you later. If I can figure out how to shut this down. See you later.